Now, in March 1777, now the British had this bold plan. General John Burgoyne would invade New York from Canada. Barry St. Leger would invade New York from the west. And William Howe would invade from the south. The plan was for the three of them to meet in Albany, effectively cutting off New England, because with them controlling the Hudson River, plus already controlling Canada, and the Royal Navy controlling the Atlantic, all those patriots within New England would be cut off from the rest of the colonies.
So, Johnny Burgoyne ended up taking Fort Ticonderoga and then moving south.
Now, Barry St. Leger, when he invaded from the west, he laid siege to Fort Stanwix. Now, there was a relief column that came to try to help them out and lift the siege, but they were wiped out at Oriskany. Now, the traitor...
Careful, Joseph.
Benedict Arnold, he was able to convince General St. Leger that there was a much larger force of patriots waiting for them that the Redcoats would have to fight. Well, St. Leger, he kind of chickened out and abandoned the campaign.
That's right. But Burgoyne needed supplies, so he sent the German Hessians to raid a storehouse in Bennington, Vermont. Well, they got there and they were defeated and returned to Burgoyne empty-handed.
Now, Burgoyne, he went south along the Hudson, but he ran into a very large American encampment. Well, what he tried to do was kind of swing around, outflank them. Well, a fight ensued, and this is where the Battle of Freeman Farms came in. The British, they captured most of the land, but at a very high cost. They lost about 600 men. So they dug in and they waited for St. Leger and William Howe to assist.
And they waited in vain, because St. Leger gave up the campaign, and Howe, who didn't much care for Burgoyne, ended up abandoning, how do you say that word? It doesn't matter, I've got it. He ended up abandoning his fellow general and ended up setting sail for the south towards Philadelphia.
So in the meantime, Burgoyne sat and he waited for Howe and St. Leger.
Yes, and meanwhile, the attack at Philadelphia took place at Brandywine Creek on September the 11th, which we stopped them
At first. But once again, General William Howe swung around our right flank and attacked from the rear. And we were defeated once again. Sound familiar? But luckily, the Second Continental Congress fled Philadelphia before it was captured. Well, we fought them again at Germantown, and it was a respectable fight, but we were once again defeated.
The Second Battle of Saratoga was called Bemis Heights. B-E-M-I-S.
Are you going to spell the whole word?
I already did. Bemis Heights. Now, Benedict Arnold and Morgan Freeman, they sniped at officers and
Morgan
artillerymen.
Freeman is an actor in the future. You're thinking of Daniel Morgan.
What did I say?
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman?
Yes.
I've never heard of a Morgan Freeman.
He
How could I say that?
He hasn't been born yet.
Then why would I say Morgan Freeman?
Why did you hire Benedict Arnold to be the military governor of Philadelphia?
Because I made a mistake.
And you did so again.
Okay.
Daniel Morgan.
Benedict Arnold and Daniel Morgan sniped at officers and artillerymen to silence their cannon. And then Benedict Arnold was shot in the leg.
Good.
And the army stormed the enemy earthworks, and the rest of the enemy fled to Burgoyne near the Hudson.
Now, by this time, Burgoyne was completely surrounded. Not just by our army, but thousands of area militiamen joined the fight. In 10 days' time, Burgoyne surrendered his entire army.
Oh, the Battle of Saratoga shook the world. The French, they were so impressed they even considered joining us in the war. The French foreign minister, Comte de Vergennes,
I think it's Vergennes.
I don't know, I don't claim to be a Frenchman, but all he wanted was to humiliate the British. And this was an opportune time to do just that. Bemis Heights. B-E... Jeez, that's going to be a tough one now to get through. Here we go. Woo! Yeah, that's a good one, and it's not even that great of a joke. That's right.
I think it's your voice.
I know it is.
All right.
You're losing it over there. The second battle of Saratoga was called Bemis. The second battle of Saratoga was called Bemis. Bemis Heights. B. This is worse than the Revolutionary War itself.